No, they're going to have to work with the camera. Looks well, doesn't it?
I'll cut you short because the horse are coming out. I'm afraid just turn this way. I'll show Rob how you do yourself. So what happened was still down, no problem with it, but it was so to either lower
push on it.
he's not turning out, but it's like that.
It actually doesn't affect him much.
Ready for race
It's in a good spot for that. It's not on the moving area. And I've been very
Okay, out here at Flemington this morning, we've just watched Wow and Tictacs work. David Hayes, our trainer. David, Tictacs now, he's been a bit of a problem child for us. He's set to go to Sandown shortly. He really worked smoothly this morning.
Yeah, he did. I've actually increased his workload and starting to work him a lot harder. The stable took a view as a fresh horse, and this preparation clearly hasn't worked, so really stepped into his work and he seems to have responded. He's had a minor setback on his shoulder, but he seems to have shaken that off now.
You've applied the tongue tie over the last month or so?
Yeah, we have. He didn't wear it in training today, but we'll step him out in that at Sandown.
Okay. What about he's had the second wind operation, the entrapment of the epiglottis. That's most unusual for a horse to have too, surely?
Yeah, very unusual, but it's been a success. His breathing's absolutely, I would say, 100% now, and we can't blame that.
Okay, well, Sandown will be our next try with the horse. It looks as though it may be next Wednesday.
Yes, hopefully, if he pulls up well after this gallop, he'll definitely be running Wednesday.
That little setback you spoke about, he gashed his shoulder in the box through the night?
Yeah, we don't know how, but horses are flighty animals, and he's obviously taken a fright at something, and he's jumped into his feed bin on the edge of his feed bin, opened up his shoulder, and it's just another way to get a setback. But look, it's not significant. It was, but it was enough to stop him for a couple of weeks.
Okay, we've just seen Wow work, just some nice in-hand work on the sand track. He's been a long time coming, but I don't think I've seen a horse that's had so many problems over the last 15 months that we've had the horse, but he's looking good.
Yeah, lots of different problems.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think he's a hopeless case by any means. His work at Lindsay Park last week was first class. He's a high talent, and if he stays on his legs, I think there's plenty of wins for him coming up, and he'll have his work increased and be trialling next Friday here at Flemington.
Okay, how far from the races would Wow be? Fingers crossed.
Yeah, look, pending on the trial, we'll get him moving. And everyone's getting a bit impatient, and I can't understand that, but we'll probably get him moving 10 days after the trial if he trials well. If he doesn't, he might need 2, because you can understand he could be quite ring rusty being out of racing for so long.
Yep. Ruby Slippers must be one of the best maidens around, and I had a look at her, just a couple of photos from Anguston recently, and she's quite woolly, but she's now about to turn 4. She looks as though she'll be a nice mare.
Yeah, once she drops that coat, she's physically actually a lot stronger than she's ever been, and she'll be, I think, a stakes class mare, but definitely a metropolitan class mare.
Oh, that's promising. How far off the races is she?
She's a long way off. She'll be, 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Yeah.
Yep. Gazzadeel's just turning 3. He's a beautifully bred colt by Redouts from Hewler Angel. Most of his work this prep has been on the treadmill.
Yes, he's had. We often do that when horses coming back from knees, and his knees are holding together really well, and he's got a tendency to get very heavy. It means he's a huge eater, which will stand us in good stead down the track because you'll have constitution. But we've really battled to get him into shape without having to work him too hard with a jockey on. He starts carrying the rider regularly over the next month, and I'm looking forward to testing him. He's never really been tested, this horse, so he's bred brilliantly, and he's got a nice action at the slower paces, and hopefully he's got a brilliant action at the fast ones when we do it.
David, Classic Cameo showed up in the spring for us, 2 seconds at Morfordville. She went back to the races recently, but she's had issues with boils, and it was in season.
Yeah, initially she came in season heavily at the races, and we use that as the excuse, but often you have fillies come in season that doesn't worry them at all, but about 10% it really affects them. She went so badly, we thought that might have been the problem, but I've since worked out what it was. She was incubating boils, and she's had them before, and the race stirred them up, and she's broken out in boils, and often their blood goes off and they really run out of sorts and out of character, as she did that day. So I would say it was more the boils than the in-season. Or might have been a combination, but it was so bad, it's not true. So what I've done, I've given her we've been treating the boils, and she's responding to the treatment, but I won't run her until the weather warms up a little bit. And so I haven't picked a race out for her, but it'll probably be not for another 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, that's our report for the Brian Martin Racing Club with our trainer David Hayes.
Thanks, mate.